Okay, guys, I have finished No Land for Heroes. Uh, I loved this. I absolutely loved this. I know that I talk about Mama Bear characters a lot, but that is definitely something I seek out. Threadline is still one of my favorite series. I just love Mama Bear characters. Engines of Empire, Engines of Chaos. Love me a Mama Bear character. And Millie, she fits that bill so well, so well. Now, this was a 5-star prediction for me, and let me tell you, it delivered. It delivered, and I am not disappointed. We have Millie, who has a past, and her past is like hard enough, traumatic enough that she has PTSD. And she deals with that fairly well until she's forced to face it. Till she's forced to face exactly what caused her PTSD in the first place. And she does her best to protect her friends, her family, and the town that she currently lives in. And then when she is forced to face this figure from her past, she decides to take up the mantle of her past. That's all I can say without actually spoiling things that happen in the book. And let me just say, she is a total and complete badass, and I love Millie. And then I loved the characters in this. It is one of those, like, you go to read, let's just say fan fiction. I do happen to know that that is where this has its roots. So maybe I am thinking of this simply because of that. But in fan fiction, the characters all have these, like, certain personalities to the nth degree. And I do think you do get that in this, especially with Millie and Sweet Pea. And then, oh my goodness, how have I forgotten his name? Oh, Gilbert. And I adore Gilbert. He is a bit of an ass, but I do think him and Millie work really well together. They're just fantastic. They are fantastic. So this story does start out with a train robbery, a heist, and that is how all of the events begin to unfold, and how Millie is having to confront her past because of this train robbery and who she robs. So I loved this. I absolutely love this. No Port in a Storm, I'm so excited to read, and I've already heard that the romance that is established in this book like takes off in No Port in a Storm. And you guys know I have been looking for fantasy that does romance well, or a fantasy romance with a good fantasy plot. But I do think this delivers well on that as well, because you, through most of this book, and I would say a good solid chunk, like, there's no romance at all, but it starts to develop over time, and it feels very natural. So I really enjoyed that about it too, because oftentimes fantasy romance can feel very insta-love, and that's why I've been seeking out books that have a good fantasy plot and a good romance, because I don't think fantasy romance all the time can hold up. Like, I don't think the story holds up outside of the relationship. So yeah, definitely loving this. Now, I am still reading The Iron Crown, but I tackled this hardcore over the weekend, so I haven't gotten any further than my last update. But I do think the next book that I will pick up will be Stringers by Chris Panettiere. I totally thought that my journal with my notes was sitting beside me, and it's not. So I do not know what that actual prompt is supposed to be. Sorry if we shifted. I spotted my journal and my rules. So here they are. I did figure out that I could add No Land for Heroes to this if I picked a different species other than human and Zabrak. That would be like Darth Maul. That would fit No Land for Heroes. So I can add it to this readathon. Okay, so Stringers will get me my droids. I really need to work on the abilities because I only have telekinesis so far. So we have telekinesis, which put me at a Sith apprentice. We have the lightsaber with one dark window. Oh, telekinesis was the adventures of Amina al-Sarafi. Working on the blaster prompt with the Iron Crown. and we'll be working on the droids prompt with stringers. So I do still have like No Port in a Storm for transfer essence, but I can't binge series very well. I start to get bored and want to read something else, and that's just because I like discovering new worlds. It's why I like starting series more than I like finishing series, just because I like discovering new worlds and new characters and all that stuff. It's also why standalones work really well for me, and trilogies are kind of what I tend to lean towards. But we have another out of the park hit with this one. So I have to say, you know, I did not put a whole lot of 5-star anticipations on this because I just wanted to read books that I've been excited to get to, whether or not they're 5-star anticipation or 5-star predictions. But they're all books that I've kind of put off to the wayside because I was too afraid to start them while I was in the midst of so many other things. So I'm very excited. That's my update for now. No Port in a Storm, I'm very excited to get to now that I have read this. And yeah, like, bring it on. Alright guys, I have some bad news. Stringers. Now, this one kind of hurts a little bit because I know my reading taste very well. And whenever I got this book, I won it in a giveaway. It's signed, personalized to me, and I bonded with Chris because he's kind of from the same town that I am, or very close to, while we were talking. And this book got lost in the mail, and then he resent it. I feel so bad. But the concern that I had in the very beginning is that humor is subjective. It is very subjective. And while I do find dirty jokes appealing, there's so much of it. And the fact that the guy knows about the mating habits of bugs, and that's the thing that gets stuck in his head. It's kind of funny, but there's so much of it, and it kind of overshadows the story that we're going for, and I don't know. And then we started talking about euphoric tubes. I couldn't get into this. I did actually read like 2/3 of this book, really trying to give it a shot. It's just not for me, guys. It's not for me. I've said this a few times during the course of this video, or during the course of this readathon, that I'm still very excited about the books that I'm reading because they're books that I chose. I'm just not choosing the winners right now. I'm not. This is a book I was dying to get to, like I said, because of all of that. And this is a very beloved book. Now, it doesn't have very many ratings on Goodreads. It's like 100 or something like that. And that is probably because it's Angry Robot, and Angry Robot books aren't always popular. But this is niche sci-fi. I've read a ton of niche sci-fi for SPSFC, and I think had I read this not having gone through SPSFC, I might have liked it better because I wasn't forcing myself to read the ones that I wasn't a huge fan of. Also, I have a really cute pen that my son keeps trying to steal of a pickle jar, and it is in relation to this book. That's part of the swag I got with it. And I do have some cool bookmarks that I got from Chris Panettiere. I do still plan to read The Phlebotomist. I do think that that has a better chance of being something that I will like. This one just was not a hit for me. So I might, for my droid prompt, read Luke Arnold's Last Smile in Sunder City. It's another series I'm going to start, which is fine. It's fine. I'm to the point now that I'm not really too concerned about how many series I'm starting and how many I have to finish. It's more so just reading books that I want to read. I would put The Wolf on here for this prompt because this is the droids prompt, so I have to pick a book without humans on the cover. But I'm a little concerned about how thick this stack is currently. So Last Mile in Sunder City is not quite as long. I've also considered possibly reading Nettle and Bone because I have that on audio, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm not really sure where to go from here, simply because I've had bad luck with what I'm picking. I do want to read like Ancillary Justice, but I like breaking up my sci-fi and fantasy. And I was hoping to read the next Allie Hazelwood, but my hold is like not coming from Libby. And it says that there's like 2 books out, 2 people reading it. And I'm like, this audio is 3 hours long. I might actually just pick it up physically and do it that way. I'm not sure. I am not sure at this point. The Stardust Thief is calling me. I have Furyborn, Grace of Kings. Grace of Kings does sound like something I'm really gonna love. No Port in a Storm. I want to read that one so badly, but when I binge read, I get bored, and so I'm afraid that reading them so close together, I'll just be like, oh, more of this, you know? But that's just the way my brain works. Also, there is The Measure that I have been meaning to read, and The Immortalist by Chloe Benjamin. I don't know where I'm going to go with this. So today I'm going to go eat lunch with my mom. I might later today try to record some videos for the used tubes. Not really sure. I don't have a plan of what I'm going to record right now. I know I need to get you guys an updated series video and maybe possibly update my 5-star prediction video, but I also have Steal the Sky by Megan E. O'Keefe. Like I said, I'm still very excited about the books that I have chosen. This was just humor not hitting right. This was, maybe I should have known this book wasn't going to be for me. And so to explain a little bit of my taste while we're here, I really love sci-fi and fantasy, and what makes me an outlier in sci-fi and fantasy is that I'm not big on journeys. And the reason for that is I'm not big on mundane things. So I used to read a lot of urban fantasy, and those stories are usually go, go, go. And there's usually a lot going on, a lot. And, you know, Draconis Memoria has a lot going on with it. Anthony Ryan's really good about like not doing the journeying thing. Heaven in a Steel has a little bit of it, but it's not nearly as bad as the stuff that I get used to reading. I'm very particular about my humor. Journeys are just not my thing, whether they be personal journeys or they be physical journeys. I'm not a fan of mundane. I want to escape the mundane. And so while I like plot-driven stuff, I do like character almost as much, but in a very different way. So I don't know. Right now, I wonder what I'm thinking in the books that I'm choosing. That's just kind of where it is. I will pop back in later today when I decide what I'm actually going to read. I do know I was told The Stardust Thief does have some journeying, but I should be okay with it because it's not nearly as bad as what I've been reading. I could also pick up Godblind by Anna Stevens for this droid prompt because there's no humans on the cover of that either. We'll see. We'll see. All right, that's my update for now. Like I said, I'm going to go get some lunch with my mom, probably record some videos, and then I will pick something. I'm not taking a picture.
Oh.
I want to see you drink it.
Oh, okay. Hey guys, it's me, Joseph. I'm about to take a good drink of this.
I'm not real big on
It's good. Now watch this. It's a cherry. Look, it's the cotton candy.
Hey guys, I'm back. This is not going well. Let's just say that. Did we talk about the Iron Crown? I don't think we have. So one thing that SPSFC has done to me, I have zero tolerance for things I don't like. I hate that right now. I really do, because I have been looking forward to Stringers for a while. I have been looking forward to the Iron Crown for a while. And I don't like them because I'm annoyed. And I shouldn't be. I don't feel like I should be. The whole amnesia trope that's in the Iron Crown, I don't like it, but it's never been something that's like really annoyed me. Also, my allergies are going ballistic. Yeah, it's never been something that annoyed me, but I am so annoyed with this amnesia trope. I don't know why. I don't know why. And Stringers, it was decent. But the humor was not clicking with me, and I feel like because I tried Debunked and I tried Maiden Voyage and I read some silly stuff for this competition, I have no patience for it. I have zero patience for it. I just don't know, guys. I don't know. I have said that SPSFC has made me question if I even like reading anymore. I know I do, though, because I've given 5 stars to quite a few books, and No Land for Heroes was great. One Dark Window was great. I don't know what is going on in my head. Could you say I'm in a reading slump? Sure. But I feel like it's a tolerance issue. I don't feel like it's a slump thing. I feel like I just have no tolerance for certain things. And it's where I am. That is what am I supposed to do about this, guys? I don't even know. What I am going to do about it is read The Stardust Thief, because I have really been looking forward to this. I know that there is some journeying that happens in this story, but I don't feel like it's going to be any kind of trudgery or anything like that. Also, I have started it already. I am about 36 pages in. I am already fully intrigued. I'm invested, and that is a good sign. So, The Stardust Thief, I forget, what am I supposed to be reading this for? Oh, The Stardust Thief is for my bounty hunters that I am going to be chasing down this time. I do think I have settled on my droid replacement, and that will be Empire of Exiles by Aaron M. Evans. I was talking to my friend Kit on the Discord, and they were really enjoying it. And when I had put it on my TBR a while ago, my friend Izzy got really interested in it and has read it, and she really liked it. So I'm gonna go with tastes similar to mine. Kit is very close in taste to me, likes character-driven stuff a little bit more than I do, but very, very similar to what I like to read. And Izzy is very similar in what my reading tastes are too. So I'm gonna put Empire of Exiles on my list for my droids, since Stringers didn't quite work out. I am having an issue of DNFing things I'm supposed to be reading for this, but this has been my problem in readathons past, is that I will push myself to read books that I'm not enjoying because I want the points. I'm not doing that this time, guys. I will insert a different book. That's where we're going. Currently, I only have one ability still, but I do want to get to the books that are my ability prompts. I'm just skirting my way around it right now with books that are jumping out to me. The whole stack's appealing, like I said before, but whatever's jumping out to me at the moment, I'm not really taking the competition too seriously. And No Port in a Storm is sitting on top of the stack, so we'll see. I will probably have to read that and whatever I have via audio because it's fully physical, but I might start it soon and then just whenever I need an audio, read a different book. But oh my gosh, guys, I don't know what's happening in my brain. Help. But yeah, this has captured my attention, and this is supposed to be a book that has recently captured my attention, so, I'm very excited to continue on with this one. And like I said, the first 36 pages I have really enjoyed. So I am seeing this as a win already. I can't imagine it going downhill, especially from what I know about it and from who I know that likes it. So yeah, yeah. Even though things have not been going great, I'm not worried. I'm not worried. I just know that right now my brain is noping out of things that it doesn't enjoy. So we will keep trekking on. I'll check in with you guys later. All right, guys, here I am for the final update for the week. And I have to say, The Stardust Thief was a winner. I loved it. It was so good. I really liked the main character. I have a new ship. Can't really talk about it because it's a little spoilery, but I really enjoyed a lot of the aspects of this book and how unique it was, and it used some tropes in ways that we haven't seen done before, and I don't know, I just had a really great time. I liked the writing as well. It was very engaging, and so that probably helped quite a bit since I have been not really enjoying the things I've been picking up. It has very much seemed like everything is either hit or miss for me lately. And I do think that is because I am getting pickier. I do think it is because I'm not giving leeway to certain books or certain tropes and things like that. So I can definitely see why it's either like a 5-star or a straight flop right now. I do think that what I'm going through could be considered a little bit of a slump, but it's also, like I said before, just impatience with certain things, just no tolerance for certain things right now. And I have also decided I'm going to start like a not for now pile, and the Iron Crown may go into that. Like, it just wasn't what I wanted right now. It's not something that was going to be for me right now. And of course, I have the Hellborn King and I have Emperor's Blades on like a not for now pile. I did get the updated version of Hellborn King from Christopher Brenning not too long ago, so I am excited to delve back into that. Obviously, I won't be doing that right now because I have so many books on this TBR. But The Stardust Thief, oh, so good, so good. And I was really like waffling back and forth on what I was going to pick for my next prompt. But since I needed abilities and my last sci-fi didn't work out, I was like, let's just go for another sci-fi. We're switching it up, trying to bounce around between sci-fi and fantasy. That way I'm not bogged down in any one genre. I picked up a memory called Empire. Now this is for Deadly Sight, and I needed a rough looking book. As you guys can see, this has been very well loved by someone. Either that or they hated it and threw it under the couch. I don't know, but I bought this at the buy sell trade and I did pay standard price for it. So I'm not too happy about that because all the books are the same price regardless of condition. But I have told myself if I love this, I will replace it with a better copy. I just didn't want to invest in a hardback copy of this series not knowing if I would like it. So I really love space operas. I really love political intrigue, and I really love mysteries. So it would stand to reason I would love a memory called Empire, right? Well, I have heard that there's actually some things in this that I'm probably not going to like. I'm not exactly sure what that was. It's been a while. I've had this on my TBR for a while. But my friend Kit, like I said, they are really good about steering me in the right direction when it comes to books that are a little outside of my taste, because their taste kind of aligns with mine, but isn't so samey that they don't pick up books different from what I do, if that makes sense. But they loved a memory called Empire, and I'm just excited to get into it. Now, I have read, let's see, 83 pages, or 82 pages. I'm on page 83 of this book, and I am really enjoying it. It's different for my, like, what I usually gravitate towards, but I'm liking it. And like I said, I didn't really know that there was a mystery element to this. Here's what happens is a book will hit my radar. I'll put it on my wish list. I will mentally take note that it's a book I want to read, and then I immediately forget the synopsis. And so I have this problem mainly because I like going into books a little blind. You guys know that. Even when I'm reading synopses, I'm like, oh, I'm stopping here because I don't want to know anymore. But I have had the problem recently with the Iron Crown. Had I read the synopsis before I picked up the book, I would have known about the amnesia thing. And there was another book that came up not too long ago that I had the same problem with. I'm like, if I would have read the synopsis, I would have known this is a thing we're doing. And it probably was in reference to journeying, but that's solely on me. Now, like I said, I'm really, really enjoying this. I have had some issues filling my blaster prompt because originally I was going to read an Allie Hazelwood novella and I was just going to do it via audio. I do have the book. I just don't know where it is right now. So I have to track it down if that's what I'm going to do. But I did insert Fractal Noise because I got an arc of that, ended up not enjoying it, and then replaced it with the Iron Crown and ended up not enjoying it. However, I did just receive the audio for Witch King by Martha Wells. So I will likely end up picking that for my blaster prompt. I know I have to move every time I start the book or restart the book. That's okay. That's okay. I can go sit on my porch, have the squirrels chittering at me because the squirrels have been a nuisance in our backyard recently. I think I inserted a video of them playing around in the backyard, but there's so many of them and they are mean. They will yell at you and throw acorns at you when you go outside. So I might try to capture that if I can whenever I am reading Witch King, but they're troublemakers. I think I'm going to enjoy it. I really enjoy Murderbot, so but I've never read any fantasy from Martha Wells, so I'm very excited to actually get that on the docket and do that. I did mention that for my droids prompt, I'm going to be reading Empire of Exiles. That actually might come up quicker than what was planned. I am trying to work on my ability prompt, but I'm really just trying to read what I want to read and not be tied down to any specific thing. So while they're all still books I want to read and a 5-star prediction still is on my abilities, I will eventually get to it. I'm doing what the mood says. But that's it for me today. Like, subscribe, do all the fun things, and I will see you guys in my next video.